On the morning of 6th August 1945, a B-29 bomber of the US Air Force dropped a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. The incredible explosion and destruction that followed was just too much to bear. 2 days later, another bomb was dropped on the city of Nagasaki. The Japanese were so terrified and shocked that they unconditionally surrendered. A single bomb ended the World War, which has been raging for years. The American bomber fleet made this possible. Since the Second World War, most countries have developed their own bomber fleets. The US has the most diverse collection of bombers, starting with the old B-52 Stratofortress, followed by the B-1 Lancer, and lately the B-2 stealth bomber. The Russians also have both subsonic and supersonic bombers. China has over 231 strategic bombers, but India has none. Lately, India has shown interest in purchasing the Tu-160 strategic bomber from Russia. But first, why does India, which has the world's largest population, have no dedicated bombers in its air force? By the way, what is the actual definition of a bomber? A bomber is an aircraft that can normally carry more than 8 tons of payload. Bombers are big, slow, and have long ranges. There are two types of bombers: strategic and tactical bombers. Strategic bombers are heavy bombers primarily designed for long-range bombing missions against strategic targets such as supply bases, bridges, factories, shipyards, command centers, and even an entire city. Its primary aim is to diminish the enemy's ability to wage war. In case of a nuclear war, it needs to ensure mad or mutually assured destruction, which means complete destruction of entire cities. Some examples of strategic bombers are the B-2 Spirit, B-1 Lancer, B-52 Stratofortress, the Tu-95 Bear, the Tu-22M Backfire, and the Tu-160 Black. Tactical bombers are smaller in size and range. Tactical bombing is done to support ground offensive and curtailing enemy activities. China's Xi'an JH-7 and India's Dassault Mirage 2000D are good examples. But specification of a tactical bomber blurs with light bombers, medium bombers, and multi-role combat aircrafts. At the start of the Cold War, bombers were the only means of carrying nuclear weapons to enemy targets. But with the advent of the guided surface-to-air missiles, bombers became vulnerable. Even flying fast and high will not help. This was a reason big bomber projects like the Valkyrie XB-70 was cancelled. Surface-to-air missiles and fast-flying interceptor planes like the MiG-31 could take out any bomber plane out of the sky. With the advent of the intercontinental ballistic missiles, the role of the bombers became further diminished. India's enemies, Pakistan and China, are neighbors, meaning they are closer, so long-range bombers were actually not needed. In the 1971 Indo-Pakistan War, Indian warplanes bombed almost every major city in Pakistan and what is now Bangladesh. India won a spectacular victory, so the IAF strategy was always to maintain what is called a medium multi-role combat aircraft. The Sukhoi 30 MKI from Russia is one such aircraft in this category. The Sukhois form the backbone of the Indian Air Force with 239 planes in active duty. The French Rafale is a new addition which is also a multi-role aircraft. These multi-role aircrafts develop as air superiority fighters and bombers. So India's entire Air Force infrastructure and logistics were created to cater to these multi-role aircrafts. India is more focused on defense and has no aggressive offensive plans like the US. But why does China maintain a huge bomber fleet of 229 strategic bombers when India has none? China's primary adversary is the United States. The US has multiple military bases in the Pacific. These bases are located quite a distance from the mainland, and hence China needs long-range bombers to take out these bases in case of a full-scale war with the US over Taiwan. China is even developing a stealth bomber called the Xi'an H-20. I have made a separate video on the stealth bomber. Please check out the link given in the description. India's thought process has changed after the introduction of one missile, the BrahMos. The BrahMos is the world's fastest cruise missile, with a range of 290 kilometers and a speed of Mach 3. But the BrahMos is big. It has a length of 8.4 meters and weighs 3000 kgs or 3 tons. It's basically an anti-ship missile to be launched from land and sea-based platform. But of late, India wanted to launch it from air, as this would give it an enhanced flexibility in times of war. To do that, the IF wanted to integrate the big BrahMos missile with the Sukhoi 30 MKI, the IF's biggest plane suitable to carry the BrahMos. But the integration of the BrahMos with the Sukhoi 30 involved extensive modification of the aircraft structure and its software. It took India 4 long years to successfully complete the integration. This made the IF to think that instead of modifying existing fighter aircrafts, they can very well buy a bomber plane which can easily carry such heavy loads. Moreover, the BrahMos missile has a range of 290 kilometers, so it can be safely fired well within the Indian border without any risk. The Tu-160 is a supersonic, variable sweep-wing, nuclear-capable strategic bomber designed by the Tupolev Design Bureau in the 1970s. It's also one of the biggest bombers in service today. The Tu-160 has been upgraded with advanced avionics and fire control systems. The upgraded version is called the Tu-160M. Let's compare the Tu-160 with the Sukhoi 30 MKI. The Tu-160 has a length of 54.1 meters and a wingspan of 55.7 meters when spread and 35.6 meters when swept. It has a height of 13.1 meters. The Sukhoi has a length of 21.9 meters, a wingspan of 14.7 meters and a height of 6.3 meters. While the Sukhoi 30 has a range of 3000 kilometers, the Tu-160M has an impressive range of 12,000 kilometers without refueling. Both planes travel at a speed of Mach 2. While the Su-30 can carry a payload of 8 tons, the Tu-160 can carry 45 tons. So the Tu-160 can carry almost 5 times more than the Su-30 MKI. The Tu-160 was actually designed to carry 12 Raduga Kh-15 short-range nuclear missiles. Russia is the only operator of the Tu-160, with some 17 still in active service. The Tu-160 is priced anywhere between 150 and 160 million US dollars. So buying 10 such bombers will be a big financial commitment for India. Moreover, it's not just buying new bombers. India needs to create an entire new infrastructure to house and service these big planes. Also, India needs to train the pilots, ground staffs, engineers and technicians, which is a big cost by itself. India has other priorities as well. The IF is still using the 4.5 generation Su-30 MKI and Rafale, while China has already unveiled its 6th generation fighter aircrafts. China, with a military budget of 231 billion US dollars, which is 3 times more than India's 75 billion US dollar defense budget, cannot be underestimated. China is also providing Pakistan with the 5th generation warplanes. This will put India at severe disadvantage with respect to its adversaries. India has been trying to cut defense spending by manufacturing weapons and warplanes indigenously. But India does not have access to cutting-edge technologies. So India has come up with a smart plan of only buying weapons and other defense equipment with countries who are ready to fully share the technology to India. India will use this know-how to innovate its own defense equipments and hence cut defense costs. It remains to be seen how much India can succeed. If you liked this video, please subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.